Circe by Madeline Miller is a story about the goddess Circe, who is the daughter of the sun god Helios and a water nymph named Perse. She has been mocked and overlooked by everyone around her entire life, and she has spent the majority of her life trying to please her father Helios, which leads nowhere. It is eventually discovered that she has a knack for witchcraft, which is completely by accident. She accidentally turns a nymph into a monster, and eventually the gods decide to exile her to an island that she is punished to live at in solitude for the rest of her life. At this point, Circe is very unknowledgeable about her gifts, and one of my favorite lines from the book is, it says, "I stepped into those woods and my life began." Her life spent in solitude really gave her the ability to hone her craft and to learn her skill, to really dive into her abilities, and she had to learn everything by herself. It is here that she comes into contact with legendary figures. Hermes, Daedalus, who gives her tools, her niece Medea. She has a fleeting romance with Odysseus. She is both feared and sought after because she turns men into pigs, and this all came about because they were going to assault her, and in fighting for her life and defending herself, she discovered that she could transform men into pigs, and that kind of became her thing, what she's most known for. As time passes, she really begins to grapple with her identity, love, her power, especially motherhood, and her limits as an immortal. Her journey is definitely one of transformation, and not just through her magic, but through her self-discovery. She ultimately decides and makes her own path, which defies both the gods and fate. I first started this book several years ago, and I only got a few chapters in until I decided to stop, and then I picked it up about 6 months ago to give it another chance, and it is genuinely one of the most beautiful stories I have ever read. Madeline Miller's writing style is extremely poetic and beautiful. You see this as well in her other book, Song of Achilles, which is about Achilles and Patroclus. It is beautiful. I would not have changed a single thing about this book. I thought her reimagining of Circe's life and just the way that she presented her character and made her seem more human and realistic and mortal just really gave this whole other side to Circe that I had not known about before. In closing, I want to share my favorite quote from the book. It is one of the most beautiful lines I have ever read. It says, "But in a solitary life, there are rare moments when another soul dips near yours, as stars once a year brush the earth. Such a constellation was he to me."